In the tavern, currently, Snowcap and Abaddon are kind of sitting along at the bar. Um,
Are you,
do
are
you?
you going to switch to roll 20 to it?
I actually thought we had it. Oh, yeah, we're doing it right now. Actually, here we go. Uh, I mean, you don't need the visual that much, but it helps in case things go wacky. Um, and essentially, you see kind of Scar enter the kind of move up and kind of enter the tavern. Abaddon, you're someone who senses these things, and you were there. You don't sense any fire of Surtur from Empress Scar. You saw that they had gotten some, but right now you can't sense it at all from them. Even though they didn't have much to begin with, but you can't sense what they have. It's like they don't have any of it right now. As they kind of walk through and walk in.
So, hey, Amber Scott, might come here over for a second.
Oh, it's just I was just meaning to talk to you. Sure,
No.
it works out. And they go and sit right in between you and Snowcap.
All right, that works for me.
Guess I'm having the rest
So,
of my. The rest of the stew is mine.
well, no, leave a piece of me, leave a piece of me. I'll get back to it
You
in a
already
minute.
had your. You already had your fill.
Mate, sharing is caring.
I,
Uh,
Don't you
I
care about me?
guess that seems fine by me.
Snowcap hands Abaddon like a tiny piece of meat.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, back to the point. Mate, earlier on, I could sense a little bit of fire or soda on you. I had a vague feeling about it, but it's gone.
I gave it to
I can
someone
tell.
who deserved it, that's all. You needn't not worry.
Well, I was quite worrisome.
Okay. I gave it upon Golier. I felt they deserved more.
Oh yeah. You know what? That's fine for now. That's fine for now. Anyway, you meant to speak to me? What can I do for you, mate?
You and I guess both of you. Um, well, there's a couple things. Firstly, I have to ask. I understand that you have ambitions. At least, not familiar with, which is Snowcap? I'm not that familiar with your goals here, but I understand you both travel as a group. Some of
Yeah.
the others I know are interplaced. Where do you, where do you intend to go from here? As in, are you intending on do you have any quests or goals currently, or are you intending to stay in town for much longer?
I'll be honest. If nobody else has got like something they want to do, I'll probably stay here for quite a while and help rebuild the place.
Okay. Are
Uh,
you saying that within the context of not knowing what other people's goals are, or what?
I'm
As
saying
in,
that with the context of Abaddon not knowing what the next step is, and so far, at least,
okay.
nobody's really brought up anything yet.
Given
um,
that now I think about it, you actually wouldn't know what Jebabu's goals were because you were out of the party for a while. So yeah, that actually makes sense.
well, the thing is, there needs to be a new Moose Knight to be chosen by Javabu, and that will be happening in, I think, 5 days,
I did hear a
But
little bit about that, but wait,
as
wait,
well as
wait.
Abaddon is not Abaddon. Um, uh,
Jabberberry.
Dvorak is still a looming threat.
Who did you, wait, meta-wise, did you say Dorak?
Yeah,
Yep.
it's a Dvorak.
Uh, I agree. That's why I initially asked you this question. But before I get into that, what you said implies a lot, unless there's something I'm unaware of. Have either of you been to Flat Oak in the last couple days or a week, even?
Uh,
Didn't you guys
uh,
come from Flat Elk, Abaddon?
yeah, but that's well over a few days ago. No, I'll say it's been a hot minute.
You have probably not been there for at least a month. The last time you went to Flat Oak was before the game starts. It probably was like a month and a half, if at the most recent, if not more. It was probably one of the
Yeah.
first things you did once you left, like Reese on your initial journey out. Um, the the reason I ask is because my understanding is the Moose Knight is determined by whoever controls Flat Elk, and for a long while, I understand it actually was that fellow woman over there, Attic. And she points to Attic, who's kind of leaning against the wall outside the tavern. Um, but and they still wear the armor, so maybe they can still count as. I'm not sure if they still possess the full capabilities of such a thing, but since Dorak controls Flat Elk, I assume a new Noose Knight was chosen. I'm unfamiliar who that would be. Do you know anything about that? Because you seem to be talking as if your ally Jevabu has the right, or has been chosen by some force or some means to determine that.
Yeah, as far as I understand, he actually does have some say in the matter. But as far as I know, nobody else has been chosen yet.
And do
Interesting.
you really want to
'Cause
accept Dorak's pick?
I, it's not my place to say. I mean, I don't accept it, but also I'm not. It's not my clan. I don't get.
Oh,
I mean, unless we invaded and took control, then that's it. I try to let traditions be traditions. Obviously, if the Moose Knight was under Dorak, they'd be an enemy.
I don't know too much about the Moose Knight, but it's important to Jevabu.
Really? Well, I'm surprised you wouldn't know that much about it. Where are you from, actually?
Mossfelder.
Okay, then you probably would know some about it. You're not that far. Moose Knights travels around also around the Elk Hills and quite a bit. They're a cause of, if anything, if anyone knows this. I mean, okay, I guess we're into the Ash Hills a bit of, but around the Elk Hills and the whole area, the main thing that people outside of there know about that whole region is the Moose Knight. I mean, I've heard the Moose Knight has traveled as far south as like, I mean, farther south than Bullnut. I think it was like what maybe Gottsdal at one point. And I know when I think the current one was in training, or the previous one, I guess. Yeah, but I guess previous one. I don't know what the current one is, but the previous one, Attic. I heard before they were officially Moose Knight or something. They had gone to the Isle of Gress at one point, but that's interesting and helpful. In
oh,
terms of where you need
wonder.
to go, do you know where? Oh,
I think we need to be in Mossfelder for it. That's where we decided.
no, okay. Is that it?
Yeah, for the Moose Knight
So you're
thing.
okay. Moose Knight thing? What do you mean?
For when Jevabu decides.
Who besides Attic? Who are they deciding between? What are the other options?
Me, uh,
I mean,
but with a mustache.
I'm serious. Do you not know?
No
This is a
fucking idea.
figure. I mean, I'm not. Our clan has its own traditions and own circumstances, but I understand one of the special things amongst the old order was the Moose Knight, and it's what made Flat Elk. Despite them having functional control of Bone Knight for so long, I mean, the Flat Elk was still an important place, and the Moose Knight was one of those reasons. Besides, it being the place the Oracle was at, but that Oracle of Scotty, which I've heard
No,
dire things about.
Look, mate, all I'm saying is, so far, the only Moose Knight we've ever met, at least in my eyes, has been a bit of a disappointment. So I don't know who the other contestants are, but, you know, they ought to be better.
Really? It's that's how you feel about
Attic
Attic?
has a great respect for winter and hunting and bows.
Yeah.
Because of Scotty, or because of? Are you saying that you feel the Moose Knight should have those circumstances?
No, I feel the Moose Knight, you know,
Okay,
should be able to resist a charm spell.
I'll get on to the next thing in a second. But were you okay? Snowcap, did you know anything about who the person would be? Like, so any of the other people besides Attic?
I didn't pay attention when they were talking about it.
Okay, given you likely, okay, I have a question, meta question. Were you there in Mossfelver in the hall when the peace talks were happening? This is a meta question.
Yes. Yes.
In that case, I'd like you to roll a deception check. Assuming you're lying.
Oh, I'm not lying.
So, well, the idea is the main person who was assigned by, by Dorak, her gank, was literally wearing moose garb and stuff, and was proclaimed themselves as a new Moose Knight.
I
So,
forgot.
okay.
I forgot out of character.
The other stuff, okay, well, I'd say that you would know that. The other things you might not know, albeit it would be reasonable for you to make guesses for other people who could be contentious, though. Other guest people, like you would, I would say you would have, regardless of what Jebabu discussed with what was the name of the shaman in Mosssilver? Gaida, yeah, Gaida.
Yeah, kinda.
What Gaida discussed with them, you'd know from Gaida a bunch of other stuff, like other people who would just make sense to be. Mainly that there's a particular person in Aslog who makes a lot of sense to me, because he was almost known as a moose druid for a while. Okay, who is actually back to the non-meta. Sorry. Hello.
Her gank, I believe, is Dorak's choice.
Okay. I think I've heard of that person. Oh. Are they her gank of Kivir? If that's the case, I've met them before. They're a very I'll be honest with you, I think they're an asshole. They're a very awful person. I don't really think much of them, other than I think they desecrate what they walk upon. They choose to do things in a very unacceptable manner in regard to the treatment of really anything of the natural world, or even of the tamed world. And actually, and I understand them to be a person within Dorak's ranks who there was even talks of him having been one of the people who were supposed to have seized us recently, but from what I understand, people who investigated the corpses out there didn't find him, so either he ran away or maybe just wasn't there to begin with.
He ran. I saw him.
Oh,
He
that's helpful.
teleported out.
Thank you. That's actually meaningful. In terms of other things that we discussed, is there anything that you'd like to bring up before I kind of shift conversation? You have any questions for me, I guess, per se?
No.
Okay.
No.
Quick meta rundown. Golier still be like, it's probably finishing up. It's probably some time has passed basically, and Scar has walked into the tavern. Golier is probably almost done. Probably gonna finish up what she's doing and head to the tavern soon. So we'll come in soon. And Jebabu is outside. I would say moping. I would say they're kind of standing. They're sitting near a weirdly unconscious Yugdrill. I can stream if people want, but I'm probably not. It's better if the DM doesn't stream because I
feel like
am shifting things around on my end a lot and doing a lot of hidden stuff. Maybe right now it wouldn't be too bad, but like in most games, it's probably bad if I'm on the streams. Same with sessions. But I can stream now if you prefer I stream. Yeah, okay.
You can delay, especially if it's that good of spoiling surprises. Just
Yeah, I don't. Well, yeah, I mean you'll see some hidden stuff on my end, but nothing crazy.
fine. You can wait until there's like combat or something. I'm okay.
Okay. Yeah. So back to things. I'd say, before we kind of continue this conversation that Scarhead had, Jebabu, you're out near Yugdrill, and Yugdrill's clearly unconscious. And you notice that their kind of fingers are almost tapping, but not quite.
Okay.
As you're kind of looking at them a little bit and just kind of sitting there silently, you start to notice something along their back. And given the way you're positioned, you're probably looking towards their back. Or would you say you're kind of just sitting beside them?
I'm sitting beside them, meditating with them, also trying to like. I'm basically having a very like one-sided conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, I probably don't notice much. I probably like have my eyes closed and focus on meditating.
Jebabu does not notice Senpai.
Okay. So, just think behind. I would like you to roll a perception check.
Okay.
There's a mild. It looks like their cape is shifted slightly back, but which is weird. Maybe it's the wind or something. It's almost like there's like maybe something. Maybe it's just the way they're sitting, or maybe they crunch their. Maybe they have a branch that's like that you just didn't notice that comes out of their back, and that's why there's a slight mark. But it looks like right now there's like a little bulge in their back, but you're not really sure exactly when that happened. You weren't paying enough attention to know exactly when that started, or if it just was always a thing. But you're noticing right now.
Okay. That's normal. It's probably just a little tree branch sticking out.
Here we go.
What?
Jifabu, you seem to have heard some type of noise or something coming from that spot on Yugdrill's back? Underneath that cape of theirs?
Yugdrill? Did you say
Yugdrill
something?
doesn't seem to respond. Also, I'd like to mention that Yugdrill's like pre-form is kind of interlaced with armor a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's entirely possible that that whatever's saying this is cuddled by more than just the cape. It's just kind of what you've noticed a little bit.
Gotcha. Okay.
But if you could try lifting the cape if you wish.
Sure. I'll lift the cape up.
You see, I'm gonna pull up their DD Beyond thing just so I can get this right, but they have armor that's kind of morphed into their body a little bit, but there is a noticeable like weird dent along the back of their armor, like to a point where it looks like there's either some type of growth or something underneath it, and that's kind of, and given everything, like that's kind of where that sound seems like it came from, and that's probably why it was as dulled sounding as it was.
Okay. Can I make a
You could possibly try to remove a portion
nature?
of armor. Yes.
No. Well, I'd like to investigate it with a nature check. I'm sure that Yggdrasil, being a good steward of the forest, is probably just doing what he does as a tree and like letting a little squirrel or bird live in him for a little bit or
Sure.
something.
Do a nature check to see if that's what squirrels and birds sound like, if they could speak like Scooby-Doo. You're not sure. It might be a squirrel. Could be a squirrel that can talk for some reason, or that you're just capable to understand. You know, you could possess some various magic capabilities, perhaps through your tusks or something else. I mean, testosterons or other things you possess. Maybe you've gained it, or maybe just the presence of Yggdrasil has allowed squirrels that are near them to speak, or if it is a squirrel, but it might be a chipmunk, squirrel chipmunk possibly. Seems vaguely reasonable. Could be something else though.
I wanted to like get in there with like a physical
Okay.
inspection of that.
Okay. It looks like the armor is kind of in the way, but you can kind of break it open a little bit. It might not necessarily. You could probably shift it back into place. Maybe I should just get.
No, I don't want to break. I don't want to break it if it's like.
When you can remove part of it and put it back into place. It's not like you're doing full on damage, but it kind of depends on how well you do it. If you aren't very good at what you're doing.
You can't just like take bark off a tree and put it back.
That is true. Like, imagine if like when like items get like enveloped up by wood on a tree.
Like how what does?
Well, various items or like poles and other things get enveloped into trees, like as trees grow.
Okay, sure.
Their armor is partially like that, so you could. So that's within the context. So you could try to remove. That's why it's hard to just like take off their like. If you're wearing a breastplate, that's why it'd be hard to just remove a breastplate. But so you'd have to maybe remove part of it, and you have to push it back into place, or maybe crease it. It might be not as like it's possible. It might even be damaged in some way because of that process. So maybe it could be easier to take off, but
Okay, so like the armor, is it like part of his body? If it's unclear,
I'd say it's morphed into it.
Can I do a check to like if this is something that could hurt Yggdrasil? I don't want to investigate any further. I guess I'll do a medicine check. Like I don't want to mess around.
It's also possible because of the angling. You might be able to like look at this thing without. Yeah, okay. So they are wearing half plate. I was gonna say I was trying to figure out if it's scale mail or not. Yeah. Okay. Do a medicine check.
14.
Given you are not, even as a druid, you're not exactly clear on what Yggdrasil is. They're not quite a treant. I mean, they could be a treant, but treant. You're not sure like how diverse treants can really be. But at the very least, you know that if they were a woodwold, that you assume they'd tell you, or maybe be a little more quaint, because woodwolds are typically powerful druids who have died, but they look a bit taller than what you described woodwolds as being, and woodwolds are, from what your understanding, are typically like not as intensive of a person as Young Drill is. Young Drill seems quite powerful. They look like they've have some circumstance to them. They wear armor, have a lot going on. Their shape is even moose-like with horns and everything, which seems a bit untypical of Woodwold. But it could just be a powerful Woodwold. But again, you don't know for a Woodwold treant or something else. You're not sure what they are.
Can someone give me the rundown of what a woodroll is?
A Woodwold meta-wise is basically like where if a druid dies and they have some special stuff set up, it can become this little like tiny pseudo treant, which is typically like a stump with legs and arms, and they sometimes have shields. They don't do too much. They can like fight kinda, and they can sometimes guard places, but they're not like. You can look at them. I can send some images of some. They're in the
Neat.
monster manual, I think. Yeah.
I don't know the monster manual well enough.
That's a good thing, I think.
Yeah, it's a good thing, low key.
Because then it means that you don't expect things, and so there's not obvious strategies in your mind when you see an enemy.
Bold of you to assume that I haven't willingly taken a Arcana check in another or a survival check in another campaign to see if I would know stuff in character and just made the objectively wrong decision because my character wouldn't know.
Yeah. What are those? Okay, quick thing. This is so dumb. What are those wooden objects that are outside at like sometimes outside of like houses and at parks that are circular and have like fence-like structures with a roof, but otherwise they're kind of open?
Gazebos.
Yeah, there was a famous like D&D like green text story about someone who didn't know what a gazebo was, and so in roleplay, like both in roleplay and real life they didn't know what it was, and when the DM described it, they assumed it was a monster, and the DM played into it. Okay, yeah, that reminded me of that. Okay,
That sounds
good.
fun. Can there be a mimic at some point?
Yeah, maybe. Okay, back into stuff. Yeah, so there seems to have been this weird dent you saw, or not dent, yeah, dent in the armor. Something on their back, and it made some noise, and you aren't sure what they are, so you're not sure if you can really get it off like easily or not. You're not sure if it's gonna damage them or not, since you don't really have a good understanding of what they really are. Like how much it could be that they have a human skeleton underneath that tree part. You really don't know enough about them to make good judgments here.
Okay. If you are a spirit from wisdom past, I am here to listen. And everybody's gonna get like lean pretty close into where he saw that like I don't know, like growth or whatever, and try and listen, because he did hear something, but I didn't hear what that voice said.
Okay. Golier, can you roll 1d10? Or I can roll one for you, I guess, if you're not if you're computer access.
I mean, I have access to my D&D Beyond, and I can just screenshot it.
Okay. Or you can just tell me what you rolled, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Roll that. Determine something. Determining how fast you're gonna show up. Okay, but so Jebabu, you kind of you're quite big. You're taller than Yugdrill. So you're trying to kind of get closer to this and hear it, correct? But you're also not trying to like remove your armor or anything. Is that correct?
True, yeah. So
I would say there might be an opening. You could kind of shove your trunk in if you wanted to, but that could be bad if it like ends up being a squirrel and bites you.
Oh, that's a 10.
Does it smell? You know what? Let me smell. Yeah, let me stick my trunk in there and sniff around a little bit. I do get I'm gonna get advantage on that from my
Oh wow.
from the Memathodon thing. Ooh, look at that. Nat 20.
So, also, someone got a 10 on this, so I'm going to say, as you are sniffing and learning a lot about Yggdrasil, Golier, you walk into the fray and you see Jevabu apparently sniffing a assumedly unconscious Yggdrasil who seems to just be like crisscross applesauce, like with her head like turned over on the ground, and Jevabu's just kind of leaning in and sniffing them. What do you do given that circumstance? You're
Golier
heading
can
back to
just.
the tavern and you see this.
Oh, is it just the two of them?
Yes, everyone else is in the tavern. You don't know where Norlis is. Norlis is probably in the tavern, but you don't know.
Okay. Golier will kind of pause for a moment and tuck her head to the side, and she'll just kind of call out, should I be questioning, or do I need to continue walking? Does she get a response?
No.
I heard. Well, I heard a voice inside him. I do not smell a squirrel. Okay.
Wait,
I heard
say
a
that
voice
one.
trying to speak to me that was not Yggdrasil.
Have you? She pauses for a moment. Can I roll like some kind of like insight check or something to see if he appears to be under the like influences of any substances or anything? Like, can I do?
Drug check.
Like, is that like a medicine check? Is it like an insight check? What would that be to determine if he's like on some kind of substance or something?
In my opinion, it would be insight check to see if he's on drugs, medicine check to determine what type of drugs. But I'm not the DM.
Ian, please help. Is it doing the thing where I can't hear him
No,
again?
no. I was
No,
typing
it's
something.
good.
Sorry.
He's
Uh,
typing.
Okay.
Jeva was waiting for me to type something. So,
Oh,
Jeva, what do you respond to Goldie, or do you kind of focus in on the scent? This intensive, like cedar, but better. Like this weird oaky smell. That's kind of unique. It's not like anything you've really smelled before in terms of tree parts. It's like they have a portion of their back that just smells very good. It's like cool. Some type of like wacky incense maybe. They may even have like myrrh. Is that the thing I'm thinking? Wait, no. What's the Yeah, wait. Does incense come from trees, or I'm thinking of myrrh comes from trees?
Sandalwood or
Yeah, maybe that.
there's a bunch of different kinds of incense.
What is the biblical thing that they used in the Bible? What was
Myrrh.
that?
Pure
Myrrh.
incense.
Myrrh's one of those, yeah.
Okay, myrrh.
Frankincense.
Oh,
Gold.
frankincense. That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking of. Frankincense.
Frank's incense.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it smells like frankincense,
Yes.
which you would have no context for, like of smelling that before.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Also, I've never smelled frankincense either, so I don't. Is it like? Is it piney?
It's like a really nice
It's
perfumey
very
incense.
pleasant.
What they're trying
Like-
to, what Ian's trying to say is that Yggdrasil is Jesus.
Yggdrasil's what?
Yggdrasil is Jesus.
Okay.
No.
would be Jesus, bro.
No. That's blasphemy.
Did I miss where you said what check to make, by the way?
No, you did the right one. You got a D10, and that's what I wanted. That was determined how quickly you showed up, and you got a 10. So you came up right as he did, like before I even
No,
gave
that's
him everything
not
on his roll.
That's
Yeah.
not
Oh,
question.
my fault. He did not hear me. That's on me, gang.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was on me. I missed it. What did you want to roll for it to determine?
I was gonna ask to see if Golier could roll a check to see if he was under the influences of any drugs or anything.
Okay, sure. Yeah, do medicine check. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I got sidetracked. I heard you say that and was gonna respond, and then I got sidetracked. I'm sorry.
I got a 7.
Okay, yeah, you're not really sure. I mean, maybe, but you don't think so. You don't know. No clue.
Okay, she'll step forward and look between Jevaboo and Yugdrill.
And it looks like Jevaboo's trunk is kind of leaned up against like Yugdrill's back, kind of. There's like a bit of his armor that's kind of has like a very mild opening that he can't quite get his trunk into, quite into it. But it's like leaned up close to that, like he's sniffing Yugdrill's back, or maybe he's trying to connect his trunk to Yugdrill. Like maybe that's a thing he can do. You don't know. I mean, actually, I'd say you would. I'd say you probably would think that that's a thing he can't do, but maybe.
Interesting.
I'm gonna look at Golder and say she's obviously having questions about what's going on. Our trunks are the most dexterous part of our bodies, so much more than our fingers. So this is what we use to feel.
With that in mind, should I have Golier roll an insight check to determine if they think you're giving Yugdrill a back rub?
I'm okay with that.
Okay, yeah, roll insight. Let's see if that's like what insight. I use insight in really weird ways, but yeah, roll insight to see if that's what you determine.
Hey, if
Okay.
it's really low, if your roll is super low, you should have it so that Goliath thinks it's a weird sex thing.
So, funnily enough, I don't have any bonuses to insight because my wisdom is a flat 10, I think. It's either 10 or 11. I got a 19 on the die, I fear.
You got 18?
19.
19. Okay, I'd say that you think that maybe it could be seen as a back rub, but you think something else is going on, and you don't think it's sexual either. You think that given the context here, there's likely something weird going on with Yugdrill, and Jevu just trying to check it out with his,
Okay.
his nose appendage, his trunk. Albeit it is kind of an odd thing to have seen.
Jevaboo is sniffing quite vigorously and says, This is some of the best smelling wood I've ever smelled. Here, have a whiff."
Again, I smell okay, but I need to speak. Can we talk? Can you hear me? Hello? You hear, Jevaboo.
Yes,
However,
wait. Stand
Golier,
back.
you can't quite hear this, Golier, but Jevaboo can. Actually, unless your passive perception's really high, which I don't think it is. I could be wrong. What do you do, Jevaboo?
As I hear the voice, after I just invited Golier to come to come smell the wood, I say, "Wait, no, stand back. It speaks to me."
She kind of steps forward slightly and goes, "What do you mean it's speaking to you?"
If you listen, you will hear.
Can I listen in to see if I can hear speaking?
Do you listen? Do you get close to? Okay, where do you think? Okay, sure, but describe what portion of his Yugdrill's body you're attempting to do that with. Or, as in, what I'm asking is, do you think that you'd figure? Actually, yeah, I guess you could figure it's a back. Like, yeah. So yeah, get close. I'd say roll a perception check.
Perception check? I'm not
Yeah.
good at those
You don't.
either.
You might hear it regardless, but we'll see. If
Can Jevaboo also do
That's
a
a
perception
4.
check or assist with Golier's?
Yeah.
I'll assist you with yours
Oh, okay.
because I don't
Perfect.
have really good perception.
I have a +0 to perception.
Oh, well, I got +2 here. I'll just
Can
roll mine.
Snowcop roll perception for shits and giggles?
I got a 9.
Well, you're not
Oh.
hearing
The
shit.
perceptive members of the party.
Yeah.
You okay? So, Jibble, you got in? What did you say you got, Golier? You just said.
I got a 4.
Okay, yeah, 4. Yeah, you're not. You kind of can't really tell if what it is you're listening to. You hear, hello, let's talk. Hello, it's someone that I can't see anything. My name is hello. You could kind of hear that, but you can't make much of it. That's what Jebba was saying. You don't even hear that, Golier. You can't quite make it. It's too much of a whisper. Something saying something. It could be the wind, maybe. Maybe just a weird wind sound that's going through his armor and making that weird sound. Whatever. If it was a squirrel or like a weird face or like a shrimp or maybe like a weird little crab creature that's latched onto his back. You don't know, whatever it could be. You can't really make enough out of just listening to that sound, at least based off your current skills, to determine what it could be. There's no like clicking, none of that. You don't know. But I will say that Jebabu did hear the additional like voice, and Golu, you couldn't quite make it out. You kind of hear something that kind of sounded like a voice, but it could have just been the wind.
See,
Yeah,
there it
better
is.
than the
There it
wind.
is. You heard it.
She kind of peer back, look at him. Hun, I think you might need to lie down. That's just the wind.
I've already got it. There's only so much time when I'm free like this, when I'm not converged. I'm Yefik. We have to talk. Hello.
Yes, hello. I'm listening.
Who's this? Why can't I see? Why am I blind? I don't. There's a reason, I'm sure. Is it the skin, the armor? What? Where do I exist currently? Why can't I move my hands? Do I have hands?
My name is Jevabu. You are on what we call the material plane. Right now you are in a, well, I guess inside a, I don't know, a friend of mine, a tree. What?
What? I'm inside of. I can move lips. I can speak. I smell like iron or steel, I think. Is that what's in front of me? Meanwhile,
Iron and steel.
which looks like, I mean, let me just make sure I can best correct components of what their armor is. Oh wait, no, I take it back. They're a druid. So yeah, no, this is made of wood and this is like a weird let me actually check something real quick. Yeah, no, it wouldn't be iron steel. I'm sorry, but meta-wise it's not. What their half plate is made of appears to be like some other kind of like a mixture of like ivory, more like a walrus ivory, and like narwhal, and bits of like specialized wood and a couple other things, like maybe like silica and yeah, I guess silica, and a couple other, basically a lot of like non-metal materials. Most, I guess, a mixture of things. So it looks like it's, and the fact that you were able to fully tell it was like not, given the amount of wood this thing had, given out like you were able to tell it wasn't part of his like body and was armor, was something you kind of gained via like your understanding, actually looking close when you were and smelling and getting a better look at things. But to get back at that, what I would say is, this wood, this material, there's something in front of me. Am I just with? Is that bark or? My name is Yefik. Did it work? Did it? My consciousness, it was in something else. But I couldn't. It was mixed. It was like I was with someone, with my helpers, my apprentices, and other things. It's like I wasn't a singular. What happened to Dorak?
Oh.
Is Dorak still here?
Jebu's gonna turn to Golir and say,
Golo, you can't hear any of this, by the way.
Oh,
Except for
that's
everything
good.
that Jebu says is only. Yeah, keep going. Sorry, keep going.
You knew that I was about to say something, so thank you for telling me.
Yugdrill.
Yeah.
Yugdrill has transferred his consciousness elsewhere, and something else is now inside.
How well do I know Jevabu well enough at this point to not immediately assume he's crazy?
You only know him for like a couple hours, so probably not. You don't know Jevabu that well at all. You only know who you haven't known him for a few days, not even a full day.
I feel like I don't know him well enough to not immediately assume he's crazy. How far is the tavern?
The tavern, I'd say, from where you guys currently are, is around like 120 feet away. Like you just keep walking along the alleyway and in between these buildings, you'll just reach the tavern where party is.
He's
Not
gonna
far at
turn to
all.
Jevabu.
Golir can probably just about see it.
Yeah, you can
from where
see
they're
it.
standing.
Yeah, which I will say the
He's gonna-
main thing of yeah. Go on.
I was thinking he's gonna turn to Jevabu and just go, "Okay, stay right here. I will be back." And she's going to, while looking at him, carefully back away before going towards the tavern to grab the rest of the party.
Okay. So, meanwhile, as you guys are doing that, and as Golir is heading that way, Abaddon Snowcap. Gar kind of began their next kind of contentious subject to mention. Abaddon, you seem to have issues with me in regard to. I understand you have reason to feel I did not do my best when Wulfric was here, but there's something you should understand. I have reason to believe that, well, actually, I'm going to make it more clearly set. For not the entirety of the time, but for a good portion of that time, at least within the time that, between at least along the time when sometime prior to when the chieftain died, the chieftain sent me to the mines and some of my men, in the belief that there was some threat down below, and we did deal with something, but it was quite intensive, and it took us time, but I feel the chief did this on purpose. The chieftain did. Do you believe me if I were to make that case? Or do you feel I'm just, was too frightened, too weak to try to fight, Wulfric?
I will say it sounds oddly convenient and very much a weird thing to have happened. I'll give you benefit of the doubt and let you continue on by explaining what you thought.
Well, before I say that even, I'll say that I emerged from the mines before you had arrived here, and things had already gone far. By that point, the chieftain was already dead, and additionally, Sabo had entered across the bridge. I had a paladin that I knew was going to be sent to Vulcan, but they had at least stayed guard some time the bridge guarding the facility, I guess. But they seemed to, I guess the chieftain finally I guess sent him to Vulcan early. But some of my other paladins did come with me, so we were fully prepared. And simply put, Sabo, that human with Wulfric, their presence having exited was, I guess, exited that dungeon, the fortress across the bridge, it was unparalleled. Given what they did and everything, they had a presence to them that was genuinely frightening, and we tried fighting them, but there was no way we could beat them. The fact that you did is only because you died in the process. It's clear that there was some. If I were to say that they were literally designated by the gods to do what they did, I would believe that.
Well, then the gods chose wrong, because he's dead, and I wield
Well,
his sword.
that doesn't mean they chose wrong. That just means that they chose you.
Sky, I think you're misunderstanding quite a lot.
I'm
The
being
reason
vague and simplified my language.
that is fair. All I'm saying is the reason I'm so upset with you is not only did I return to my home just to see it invaded, captured, my chieftain dead, my people afraid. More so,
Well, they fled, but
I
yes.
well, my people were still afraid. More so, I bled for my home. I died for my home. And then to find you, a beacon, someone who I looked up to while growing up, one of the few who I felt I could aspire to be, see you cowering in the catacombs, losing your shit. There is no repairing that. There is no repairing that image.
So
You are.
I get you. I understand, but the system I believed in had failed me, and had failed everyone. The chieftain chose to leave themselves unprepared with their palinary away, and it led to their death. Something I believe they possibly even wanted.
How could they have
Everything that happened
wanted
in
it?
regard to Wolfric, I believe, was something the chieftain might as well have chosen. That being said, Sabo actually returning from where they came that was never expected. That means that Wolfric had some special plan in mind, and the fact that you stopped it is special. It also means that Wolfric was clearly afraid of you, given you didn't slay him and he fled. But
I
there is another
remember
aspect
that.
of this. I would have fought him regardless if it cost my life, if I had the physical strength to think I could win. I did not. I had been fighting hours upon hours down in the mines. There was something there. Regardless of if the...
What's down there? Is it dead?
I don't fully know. I was able to mash into its arm quite dearly. I don't know if I even
What,
should, but
what
the...
was it?
I don't fully know what it was. I thought it was bipedal in nature. It was quite tall, maybe 7 feet, maybe 8. It had no eyes, it had large ears, and protected young. It was like a man, if a man was forged with a bat and a rat and whatever else, but it wasn't too furry. It was rather human-like in terms of its skin, but its muscular was great, and it had a long, horrific finger on maybe 2 fingers on each side of its hands, or each of its hands.
Snowcat, do you have any idea what the fuck that is?
Snowcap, roll nature check.
Okay. It's a pretty good score.
Let's see. Let's see. What was it? You have heard. It could be something you've heard discussed once by the shaman of your clan as well. You know, there's a couple things in the Underdark that are like blind, that are humans who have gone blind, and other things. And you've also heard of, bat-like creatures, but this probably is not a vampire. I mean, it could have been. It's possible, likely. You're not sure on that. It could have been a vampire, but it might not. But there's these what are they? There's a couple things it could have been, and given the way it's described, and if this is something you'd actually fight for several hours, like, it probably wasn't a Grimlock. You've heard of these things called Grimlocks, which are these like human lions. Maybe they might have been a halfling at some point. Maybe they're probably humans who were just living in the Underdark, and something happened. You don't recall if what caused their state to be, but they're basically blind people. But you don't know enough. From what you understand about them, is they're rather weak, and so it can't be one of that, which leaves only one thing you've heard of, which is, well, the blind folk? Or you're not really sure what they're fully called, but you have heard of a race of bat-like creatures, but really more so bat-like just in terms of their ears per se, or maybe not bat, maybe even bat-like, so wrong term, but there is a humanoid-like race that does dwell deep, and they're very rare, but they are quite strong, and they don't seem to fear the gods, and there may be some reason to believe they are from one of the 9 realms. Most potentially specifically Nidavellir, having been pushed out there from the dwarves. Something that came from the mines and caves of a offset world sent here. And that's all you would know, given assuming you got an 18, so that feels a bit much, but yeah. Actually, that was way longer than I should have given you for, but yeah, regardless, that's what you know it as. The blind folk. Not quite knowing what term they would fully be known as, but yeah.
I think it's the blind folk.
Abaddon, you have no clue what they mean by that.
I mean, it seems a little bit insensitive to call them a blind folk, but
I don't know what fully they're called.
Oh well. Ultimately, it doesn't matter.
I shouldn't even have fought that thing. It was clearly defending its children. It was, but it was strong. I'll give it that. There was worth going down there in general to see some of the well, to make a further reminder of it. Well, I don't know if you probably know this, Navadon, but if you don't, it's completely reasonable if you didn't. But our clan, our minds do go fully down into the Underdark. If anything, of the utility of going down there was to confirm that the passages are still correct and still function. There may be some rocks kind of buried now after the volcanic eruption, but it's entirely possible that path is still safe, which would be if you're trying to get to places and a little afraid of Dorak's hordes, you could travel the Underdark.
I think that Norno's had enough of the Underdark. From what I've heard.
Oh, I didn't know Norlis has been to the Underdark. Is there an issue with that? But Norlis, is he the leader of your group or something?
Kind of the factor. The dude's the brain of the whole thing.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, either way, I'll say this: a lot has happened. I recognize my failings. I recognize that's also why I gave the Fire of Cinder to go there, but more so because I feel I have failed them. They were a person of our clan who was failed by our systems, who was here to help us do something, and because of the wishes of a improper chieftain and a system that respected them too greatly, it failed. Speaking of things, where is that Norlis? I thought he'd be here.
He's been gone for quite a while. I don't actually know where he is.
Okay.
What
As
the
you
point?
speak, the doors open, and someone enters.
Oh, fuck.
Golier.
You're not Norlis.
Actually, wait, Golier, are you here? I kind of jumped into you a little quickly.
Yes, I am.
Okay, good.
Um,
You had just been
she.
talking to. Yes, we're going.
Oh, I was saying she just steps in.
Okay. Yeah, you see Golier step inside. After having discussed, which I don't think you guys would have necessarily seen because of the angling of things, but it seemed like they may have walked past Jevabu. You're not really sure what happened with Jevabu. Maybe they're probably still out there.
She kind of steps towards the table the party's at. Am I interrupting anything?
Uh, no, I can sit out of the way of Withers Golier.
No, glad you're back.
I'm just wondering when Ornless is staying at. He seemed
Yeah.
kind of pissed at all of us.
I've
I
known
don't know.
librarians to be like that sometimes, but maybe it's because I'm loud in their spaces.
I don't think he was pissed at me.
So what's up, mate? What do you need?
She kind of steps forward. I don't know if this is something I should say in front of. She kind of waves at who is it, Ian? That's there, the extra person.
Uh,
Scar.
yeah,
Scar.
Scar's
Oh,
right here. Yeah.
got it, Scar. Okay, I thought so, but I didn't want to be wrong. Kind of waves at Scar. I don't know if I should be saying this in front of Scar because it kind of gives us a bad look, but I think your friend might be high or otherwise under the influence of something.
Let me go check this out.
He's like talking to Yugdrill's back, and there's like he claims there's like a dude in there or something, and like all I'm hearing is the wind. Like
I could have a little do my paladinary skills, but I know Phylaxie's been good at that. She's had her birds eat all sorts of things before and act strange.
Uh, Golier, your hearing your hearing skills are shit. I'm better at hearing than you.
that is very fair. I could just not be hearing anything. Okay,
Meanwhile,
you
you're
can.
saying this next to a sleeping Ophodon, or more maybe also unconscious, the builder into the concrete. I should just mention that as a reminder of that actually being there.
And she kind of looks over at Absalom and goes, "You know, I'm starting to think that it's more likely that he might be."
Might be what?
Well,
Might be
Okay,
high heat.
I vote
A druid.
we all take this outside and make sure that Javabu isn't. And if he isn't, maybe we should actually listen to the weird thing in Javabu's back. No, in the Yugdrill's back. Your names are still. I just got here, man.
okay, but before we move on, question for all three of you present.
Yeah.
Have any of you seen like a really nice battle axe to use? Like something magical, something like a Scar over here, you know? Anything nice and proper? Anything of the sort?
F1, there's some traders who have had stuff in the past. We could search back into the the Fortress Vash and possibly find some things that I'd allow you to take, given circumstances. There may be some stuff back at the Paladinary that's, could be given. But I will. If you would want something truly great, given your goals here, we would need a new chieftain to decide and set the permissions for this, given our old traditions, but which I think is the only tradition that's truly worth keeping, besides a couple of things. Perhaps the fire giants themselves could potentially give you something if they deem you worthy. But that will take time and getting permission to get there. Or if they happen to leave on their own.
Okay, fair point, fair point.
Kind of inconvenient, but none of them were here when Wolfric was doing their things, but it's by circumstance.
Okay. At least I know where to look. Now, let's do Trail's problem thingamabob.
Aye, aye, Captain. And she kind of like gives like joking salute to Abaddon. I keep mispronouncing his name.
What the fuck are
Abaddon.
you doing?
I don't know.
He does it back, and you just see his hand halfway disappearing into his skull. It's just right.
Sure.
I like it. All right, let's go.
You may want to look at Abaddon's token to understand what they were getting at when they said that.
I can't see it.
Okay.
We'll look
Grab
at
you.
Abaddon's character.
Yeah, on the Discord versus the channel.
Oh,
Assuming
okay.
they updated it. I actually don't know if they updated it. I think they did, though.
Is this the one where his like head is mostly just fire?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meaning they have an
I did that.
open place, and their
Yeah.
brain is not where it
Yes.
should be because of that.
No, I got that.
What the fuck are we waiting for? Let's go.
Oh.
So you guys can keep walking and kind of move towards where Jevabu is. Jevabu, you've been kind of keep talking to this thing. It's trying to make responses, but you can't quite hear it. It'd probably be easiest if you remove the armor or trying to move around it, which might be okay. It might not. It's hard to say, but you can definitely like. I mean, it's also the armor may also be magical, so that's a whole nother deal. That might make it more difficult. But regardless, you can keep hearing whispers, and it keeps speaking. I don't have much time. I can only speak for so long, and then it'll shift me back into it. I don't know how long this tree, this body, wherever I am, but for the root, I used the root to do this. But hello, sorry, you already spoke to me, Jevu, right?
Yes. Ian, what did he say its name was?
You said it.
You
did
said
say
but
Yefik.
I forgot.
Yefik.
Yefik. Yefik,
You would. You.
how do I get you out?
I don't know. You said I'm in a tree.
Okay.
There's something in front of me doesn't quite seem like the tree. I can't quite tell. It's hard to. It's dark in here. I can't see very well.
Okay.
I don't even know if I have eyes. I could be blind.
I'm going to try to, I guess, as delicately as possible, like dig. Is there any part of the wood that's like around it that's like already kind of like rotted or like a lot
I'd say
lighter?
towards the lower portion there's a little bit. That's not quite right, but it's a little looser. I'd say. And what you could probably do is you could probably pull it out a little bit and shift
Okay,
it back
I'm
in place
gonna.
afterwards. But you're not sure how much damage it will do to the armor if you can even do that. The armor might be too well contrived.
Okay, I'm going to do a sleight of hand check to as delicately as possible try to take that thing out. Okay, not bad. 15.
As you kind of push, so do you try to remove it or just shift it out of place?
I guess just like shift it or like get
Okay.
through the armor enough where
So what?
I can
Okay.
get to it.
With a 15, you're able to kind of pull back underneath it and push out some, and this gives you enough room to kind of look at whatever's speaking. And if you, especially, but all you need to kind of push Yugdril kind of shift his body a little bit, push his like torso a little bit closer to his legs, or just lie him down on his back, whichever ends up working better for you. But you end up seeing something. It's not. It's now. It's just a little dark because it's not fully open, but it's open enough that light kind of peers into there, and you see what looks to be a face made of wood, with with a big mustache and beard, made of some type of crystalline substance, maybe some type of hardened sap, and it looks to you and looks back at you. Oh, Mavadon, is it you? Oh, Javu, that's what you are. Okay, okay. I don't have much
Jabu's gonna
time.
like use his trunk to like blow out like loose like woody debris, so it like clears out better.
I don't have much
Yes.
time.
Yeah.
Please. Okay. Where are we?
We are in Furis.
Odd. Okay.
Where?
What happened to Aslog?
Can Snowcap hear the creature?
Aslog.
You can't just say Aslog. What happened to Aslog?
I'm actually blanking on Aslog right now. Where's Aslog?
Oh, I'm looking at the map right now. It's not far from you guys on the map.
I don't know if
what's
Jevabu.
Okay. And as this is happening, is the party's now actually getting up close and walking up to you, I'd say. But yeah, no, Aslog's right over here. If it's a human settlement or a settlement of the
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
of the Aslo
Jevabu
clan.
does need to go. Okay,
Yeah,
I do
it's
need
one of
to
the
go there.
places he
That's
was
one
heading
of
to.
the
Yeah.
places. Yes. Okay. I. Oh, I'm about. We are supposed to go there soon. I don't. Are you from Aslog?
Yes, I'm the core druid there. I'm a Yefik, the moose druid. They call me many things. I'm the shaman there. I'm the druid. I am a acquitted archdruid. I am of Aslog. I function there.
Oh.
But what happened? Who is anyone still alive there? I have many assistants. And I additionally don't.
You said
What happened to Dorak?
was Dorak at Aslog?
Yes.
I'm sorry, what about Dora? She kind of pokes her head up.
Oh, now that this thing is kind of lifted out, you can hear the voice a little better. So you can actually start to hear it function. It's not this like dulled whisper. It's still quiet, but now that there's like a more opening for the kind of airway, you can kind of actually hear it, even if you're not too close.
Okay. She kind of hears that, and then looks between the. What is this person's name? Did I get to catch the name or not?
Also, like,
Did I get to catch the
it's
name or not?
weird. Also, it's weird that there was question about Dorak's location. Like, it's surprising to Jevabu that he's an Aslog, as I'm pretty sure that's where like Dorak is kind of based.
Oh, are you saying this in character or out of character?
Out of character.
Okay.
But she'll poke her head up and go, I'm sorry, what's this about Victoria being in Iceland?
I just wanted to. Hello? Is there another voice?
Hello.
Who said hello?
Me.
Who is you? What's your name? I can see you kind of.
Snowcap.
Oh. Oh, I see you now better. Snowcap. I've heard of you. I've possibly even seen you before. Oh. Oh no. Is Gaida safe?
Yes.
What happened to Mossville? Is Mossville safe?
Yes.
Thank the nature, thank the lands, thank the moose and thank the hands. Thank which sings and thank which dies, thank the creatures that will rise. Okay,
Okay, does he like speak in riddles, or was that like the? This is a new
that was just a fun little prayer they seem to have said. You're not really sure
Oh,
if it's
that was
a one. Yeah.
yeah, that was an in-character question.
Oh, sorry.
I figured it was a prayer out
Oh,
of character.
oh, sorry. But they seem to just. Whoever said that, I can hear voices farther. That was just a little prayer. So many things to say. I don't know how long I will have before I get resent back into the cycle, but I'm strong enough to break free. Not to break free, but to have my own sentience here. The choices made here were my own, but I recommend you head to my place. Head to my. I don't know what
Okay,
if the road there is safe. Maybe beneath the earth is safer, but I said in my huddle, in my home, in my abode, I had something set up. I had contact with a root of just it's fading, the Yggdrasil, and that's how I became. There's so much I say. I don't have much time. Is Gerd okay? Is Zelp, Val, Ogre? Are any of my other druids my helpers? Are any of those? Do you know anything about them?
We
Are
are
any of
not.
them safe?
We are not near. We are not near Aslog at the moment, but
They may be already formed with me. That they may have died along. I don't know if. How long? Wait. What happened to? What happened to Aslog?
It's under direct control.
I don't know if that's a bad thing. I think. Why
That,
would
that is a
Yeah.
why
fucking
would Direct
horrendous
do
thing.
that? I knew him once before. He was.
why would
I,
Direct having control be a bad
Ooh.
thing?
he was.
oh,
And you watch as the face fades and forms back into the wood. The like beard of crystals and sap just is pushed out and falls onto the ground, rolling as the presence of what it was disappears.
That's gonna fucking
Golier
haunt me.
will turn to the rest of the party as this happens. And she'll turn. Um, let me make sure I'm getting this right. It is. Sorry, let me make sure I have his description right.
Also, Snowcap, you would know who Yefik is. You would know them as Yefik the Shaman, but Yefik the sometimes the Moose Druid, but yeah, Yefik the Shaman you would know as they are the like the main a powerful druid that is lived in Aslog and was definitely in contact with Gerd or not Gerd, sorry, Gaida for a while, and um So whatever, they seemed to be frantic. They were barely able to get their words in order. If that was even them, but it doesn't make sense why they be a temporary face on the back of Yugdrill, but which, given what
And
they
also,
said, it makes Yugdrill's existence far more enticing and uncertain, given what they did say. If you're able to understand all of it.
Hmm.
It's also not clear how well they were able to perceive the world, given they did restate a lot of things, and they seem to be not fully present.
And how long ago did Azlog fall to Dorak?
Weeks ago.
Okay.
It was one of the first places that there was like after the Civil War and Bone Left fell into circumstance, and Aslo and Dorak kind of came out as leader of Dorak succeeded.
That was one
Aslog
of
was
the
one of the
first.
first places. Basically
Okay.
the first place they attacked after it. Yeah, because it's on the way to Flat Elk, and they never. And the first time they attacked Flat Elk, they didn't succeed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
there was a later attack, or one of the last. But they've since taken over Flat Elk, assumedly, though. At least from what you've heard.
And
Let's see.
if you also have a better identifying characteristic than you used to identify, you can also do that.
Check something. I want to say something. I want to make sure it's not the opposite of what I have said prior. So I want to just check to make sure I'm not.
You're good. I just need to know what a good identifier is before I say anything.
Yeah, there's one thing I'm thinking of, and I'm trying to make sure I didn't tell you the opposite prior. So I'm gonna write that, and I'm gonna check real quickly to make sure I didn't tell you it was. This doesn't cancel each other out.
I can use that, and then if
Yeah,
it's wrong, right
no,
on it.
that should be good. Actually, yeah,
Okay.
I'll say that and his
Got it. She'll kind of turn to the party. Goliath, green eyes, lion tattoo. Is this the Dorak we speak of?
Can you repeat that?
Lion tattoos, green eyes.
Black tattoos, green eyes.
You've never you can't think of a Goliath with tattoos and green eyes. I mean, well, Goliaths with tattoos is common. Sorry, because they said line tattoos. But you in terms of people with line tattoos, uh, I'd say the party did. Well, Abaddon would have remembered encountering a wizard with some tattoos that were like long lines across their face, who was part of the Blue Ravens and was in Gress and was not in Gress, sorry, was in Oscar Ball and was intending on returning to the Blue Ravens after some mix-up and their partial leaving the group. And that person was from what you understand, had some history in the with the Skeg clan in regard to special magic councils or something like that. But otherwise, you're not that familiar with. And then Green Eyes, You know, you've probably seen people with green eyes before. If they mention Goliaths, though, you guys would. That's a very rare trait in Goliaths.
Better question.
What?
Okay, good.
He would have been searching for something called the Heart of Thrym.
You cut out.
Yeah.
He says, better question. He would have been searching for something called the Heart of Thrym.
Yes, that is him.
Whom?
I'm assuming he got his wish?
You know what? Very difficult to say.
As you are talking and saying this, someone that's sitting nearby has been mostly quiet, kind of stands up and looks to you in your direction. And it's Attic, who is kind of looking quite a bit. Terrifier. You describe details of someone I have met, I've worked under, and someone who I've betrayed. Why do you know their details this well? I'm certain that many of these others amongst you have not met that man in person, but I
He
have.
does have the heart of Hiram.
That is true, but I don't know how.
That's what
I
they
think.
needed to start that.
Wait.
That war day.
That explains a
Yeah.
lot of things if that's actually what it was, but. Meta-wise, I forget why you guys know that, but that's also.
I know. This is why. I think it was like a dragon or something, a bone dragon. Or something.
Oh, that. Okay, yeah.
She pauses for a moment.
I forget who. Oh yeah, that was the last words of Moritar. Okay. When they had their stand ghost come out. Okay. Or their JoJo ghost, whatever. We'll go back to circumstances. Attic kind of looks. Your name was Golier. What do you know of them? Or more so, let me reframe this a different way. When was the last time you met them?
I
Is it recent?
met them in passing once a while ago. I'm just gonna make the deception check. That's a 14. That's not good. Or an 8 on the guy.
I'm typing this to you, but you already know if it's just a reconfirmation. See what you got.
Actually, can I just say that she's just very obviously lying? I don't even want it to be like a people in general. Like, she's very obviously stumbling over her words. Oh, I know. I'm intentionally lying. Yeah.
There is, through various means, I can say that this place we stand here has been indirectly affected by that man. But me, my life, my friends, my allies, my people, that man has caused great harm to them. The old order will never be the same as it was.
You have no idea what you're talking about. Hey.
I broke his fucking jaw. I know exactly what I'm fucking talking about.
There has to be some sort of misunderstanding. I'm sure if you spoke to him... She kind of stumbled over her words for a second. Dork is a kind man. He is good. He has never done anything to hurt anybody.
He invaded my clan.
He literally, I will say this. I didn't know him that well initially. When I met him, he was someone who I knew of, who basically stood as a bastion for the Frostpick. The Frostpick in Bonelaft had long been under not the best circumstances. For Bonelaft was a city that was theirs, but it was also the Old Orders. I have lineage of both clans. And I felt that due to poor circumstances of my father and other things, I kind of had looked back and felt that perhaps it was right to do something. And so when the council had those disagreements, when things went worry, and when Dorak came out as a means to change once was, I went with him. And I went too far. And it became clear that their ambitions were ill-guided. But that's what I know. I know him well, but not as well perhaps as you, and that's what intrigues me. For to me he was a stranger who shared my clan lineage, and who came to Bonelaft, possibly having been there prior, and became a voice for change. But you know him, I assume, from other means, is that correct?
We were friends.
This was... where? I knew him. I did not know where he had come from prior. I think I had heard mixtures of things from Kidveer, but I think that may have been a falsehood. Others have said glassy, and I think that might have been more true. But
I don't know. We explored Glacium together, and he was kind to me.
went to those places, really?
I was
You
in my early stage trying to master my abilities. He was searching through some ruins. He was searching for... He needed a bit of help. He was nice. We saw each other a lot. We were friends. He would never do anything to hurt anyone. And if he is doing it, there's got to be some sort of misunderstanding.
I have too many opinions, too many views, and I don't know if I can talk to you right now.
You should
That's
say
fine.
that to people, Musfelder.
They'll kind of look him up and down and just kind of sigh, and then she'll kind of distort the bar and probably go grab a drink. Out of character, what's the equivalent to 99 proof in this universe?
99 proof? What's the... oh shit. Well, in this universe it kind of varies. I forget my lore. Is Absinthe 99 proof, or is that like not true at all?
I have no idea.
99 proof is one of the strongest forms of alcohol.
I'd say there might be this particular
No,
bar.
it's
You're not sure what there might be.
99 proofs,
Wait,
like 99 proofs for like 50% alcohol.
Oh yeah,
okay,
yeah,
good.
yeah.
I am dumb. I am
45%.
dumb. God, I have friends who make mead, and I should know this better. I forget my lore. So like, wait, what would be a 99 proof thing then?
Like
Strong whiskey.
Like, yeah, strong Yeah, you name it, of any liquor.
Oh, so like absinthe and stuff. Okay, there we go.
Absinthe is way stronger.
No,
Okay, not absinthe. Absinthe is like what, like vodka or something? No, maybe. Oh, okay.
oh yeah,
Oh, one.
absolutely pretty fucking strong.
Okay, one correction I'll say is that actually, do you want to?
You,
Yeah, I'll say it.
you can say it out loud.
Yeah, I'll say that instead of glassy, you kind of restated. You would have said glass scheme, which would have gotten a different response. In that case, if that, but they would have been like, I don't want to talk to you, but I. Wait, do you say Glaskheim?
Last time, yeah.
Where
I'm bad
even
with
is
pronunciation.
that? Wait, Glaskheim. I think I've heard of it. He was all the way out there. Isn't that?
He was searching.
That's like at the that's north of the Ash Coast. That's close to like almost close to Grund. Like what? That's I don't know what to make of this. I need to think. The rest of you, you can do what this person is. I don't know if they're a friend or a traitor. I don't know. I'm not to make that decision. You can. Maybe I should, but I have too much to think about. And to Jevabu, I'm sorry for what I told you. I think it made less complex or more than I thought, but I don't know. I do want to restate that just to you, Jevabu, that it wasn't just from what was within me. I did. That woman in Mossvelver, she told me quite a lot, but I don't want you to. Don't go to her and view her as someone that's. If she didn't tell you those things and you talked to her, don't take that against her, please. Don't do that to Gaida. She's a nice, kind soul. That's all I want to say. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. I'm shifting the voice a little bit because it's just happenstance. But this person is meant to have a kind of soft voice, so more like a, oh, I didn't mean to do that. I'm not sure what to say. That's what I meant to kind of get at, and I kind of shifted out of that. So back to it. But yeah.
No, you have given me much to consider.
Abaddon. Abaddon, are you here, Abaddon?
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure you're here.
They're on their phone. It'd be harder for actually.
And I would expect to see you in Mossfelder in what, 4 or 5 days. Yes.
Yeah, that's the plan. I'm not sure if I'll go there by foot again. I might do that again. It's a little hard getting here, definitely. Or if there's I think I heard from the distance a little scarf person mention an Underdark route that could be of interest. I'll have to think about what I want to do.
What do you have any plans? If you do not, I would ask you to travel with us.
I could travel with you. Are you going to head back to Fuel? Sorry. Are you going to have any intention to head to Fuel?
Yes, we will go to Thule after Aslog.
Okay, well, I've gotten some of what I came here for. And she kind of looks at the, acts of glittering on her hilt, or her belt, I guess. Perhaps other weapons would be nice, but I guess I will have to go get that, get a second if they haven't removed it. I'll probably try to possibly take that, wolf-bitten hand, but I'm not fully sure if I could use that, or if you all even know what that was. When I first met with Abaddon and Moritar and Vim, it was before even Norlis had joined the ranks of y'all, and that's when circumstances have had in regard to that item. Whatever. I would like to just say thank you for the way you've spoken to me, and I will. I guess I can come with you, but Right now, I feel like I need to rest a little bit. At least have some time to my own. In the morning, if you are leaving, then I'll come with you. Is that acceptable, or do you intending to leave sooner than that?
We would like to leave as soon as possible. What time of day is it, by the way? It's like
Like,
sometime in the afternoon.
probably like 4 or 5 right now.
Okay. Yeah, and we slept at a normal-ish time.
Yeah, last time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Yes, Yes, I expect we will be getting up rather early, though. We will find you before we leave.
Certainly. Certainly. And I'll have, I guess if I'm traveling with you, then I'll have more words to, I guess a better thing to say in regard to, well, in regard to you. And she kind of looks at, with helmet still on, so you don't quite get the best look of her face and eyes, at Golier. So very full expression is not fully clear on what they're like having a nasty that nasty side eye or what, but they simply look in your direction as if they're having some facial expression.
She kind of knows her eyes. This is the first time you see her get anything that isn't a positive expression, even when actively like engaging or when reviving people. Um, well, I mean, not reviving, but like outside of like her casting her spells and all of that, this is the closest you see.
I won't lie, I was able to understand a lot of it, but you were cutting out a bit, or it was kind of hard to hear you.
Yeah,
Hey.
I could only half understand it.
Oh, okay. One more time.
It sounds like you're far away from your mic.
Yeah. Oof. I got everything turned up and.
How does this sound? Is this better?
Yeah,
More
actually,
clear.
yes.
Yeah.
Gippy. Okay, I just put it on speaker. I'm so cooked until my computer fixes itself. But no, she'll kind of turn, and she's still smiling, but she's going to narrow her eyes, ever so slightly. This is the closest, even during her crash out earlier, and even when like she casts her spells, or besides when she like casts her spells, and she's taken very briefly. This is the only time you see her come close to genuine like actual upsetness. Um, in her not casting spell form when she isn't actively like using the powers of the cloak.
Mhm.
She will just narrow her eyes ever so slightly.
Tomorrow will be an interesting day, he says, and seems to shift back up and walk towards maybe towards the tavern to find a I'm gonna say she walks south to find somewhere to sleep, so she'll be in a different place in the tavern than you guys. Make things interesting. But she might end up being at the tavern anyway if she can't find somewhere, so it's just her like being kind of vaguely gloomy or mysterious about it, I guess. Um as that happens, and you guys are kind of in a standstill at things. What would your guys' general plan be? As in, are you guys attempting to like, kind of be like, okay, let's kind of stay here for the night, or what? That's a meta question, but you can answer. You can kind of answer in character by talking amongst yourself if you wish.
First things first, we
any-
need to find where the fuck Nornless is.
Yes. Does anybody know where he went?
Not really. The dude just kind of fucking disappeared. Like he let us all out, and after that, haven't seen him since.
Damn, do you think he got kidnapped?
She
Nah.
Well,
kind of slams her glass down from drinking. Also, yeah, just tell me how much that was, or take out my own thing. She'll go, I'll go find him, and then she'll she'll just kind of storm out of the bar.
Okay, I didn't hear the first thing you said before. Where are you actually heading?
She says she's gonna go find him, and I guess I'll just once I leave the bar make an investigation check to find him, or some kind of
Okay.
tracking check. I'll let everyone talk though.
Is she going to find him?
Yeah,
Or
you guys
should we?
Oh, if you guys shift bed back into the bar when all that happened, Scar would be present. But if you guys are still right out by Yugdrill, Scar would be all back in the bar. Reason I'm asking is Scar might be have knowledge on it, maybe, or maybe they won't.
I think we're technically still up by Yugdrill, but we can.
Okay.
We can.
Have we been by Yugdrill this whole time? I thought we were at the bar.
Yeah, well, no, you were at the bar, and then you shifted out to Yugdrill because they had to go. They all went to hear what Yugdrill had to say, or sorry, Yugdrill's what was going on with Yugdrill, and then in regard to Jeffabu, yeah.
Attic came up.
Yeah, and didn't really. They more cared about the mention of what was being said by Golier than what was going on by Yugdrill, just because of the sheer circumstance of what was said by Golier. But otherwise, they probably would have been hyped or interested in the Yugdrill thing.
Okay. Loki, can we say since Golier's a party girl, she would have just had it on her, and you could just take the price of it out of my thing?
I don't fully know what you said, but yes.
Like, since Golier's a party girl, I would just assume she would have just had the alcohol on her, and I could just subtract the gold cost from my
That is fine. Also, that, and you were also in a infirmary earlier, so maybe you found some vodka for medical use or something. You just kind of took it.
She's
people would have been fine with you doing that, given you saved 2 people from death.
Okay, cool. That's perfect then. And then she will storm off, and I'll make an investigation check.
Okay.
That's a dirty 20, but you can let everyone talk first and then handle
it. I would just get ready for a week's long travel, and then kind of look for the weapon, look for the axe I want.
Abaddon, I heard there was underground route to Aslog. Would you be able to direct us there when we are leaving?
Well, I should be able to.
Excellent.
Roll something, Abaddon. Because there's some intermixing here, but you can choose to roll deception, but it's honestly you could believe from Abaddon's perspective that they think they can do it, but if roll deception maybe.
Can I
It's
roll
up to you
charisma
how much you think Abaddon has convinced themselves of it, I guess.
Are you sure? And I'm gonna roll. I'll roll perception. I'll leave it up to this.
I guess
16.
It's dependent on how much time that Abaddon's been spent in the mines, basically. If they it's not the most known thing, but it was supposed to be kind of like a pseudo reveal when Scar mentioned it. But it could be that Abaddon would know that. It's just up to them by circumstance.
The more you doubt me, the more sure I am of myself.
I know the ways above ground. I am an expert on the mountains, the tundra, the forest, the grasslands.
Meta-wise, the only issue is that, passing through the Ash Hills, there's an opening to the Frecklaft Alpine Tundra, and that would be a means of direct access to Bonelaft, and thus, most likely along that route, it wouldn't be unlikely for you to meet a potential decent amount of Thorax forces. I mean, you also knew a
Ian?
lot were by the
Yefik
Flat Alpes
said
too.
that.
So yeah,
Yefik said that route was dangerous.
Ian, I rolled a
They
16.
suggested
oh, you're on a 16. I'd say
the
that you would have
the
some
Underdark
understanding.
path.
You wouldn't know like fully how to get to the next like exit, but you would know a good bit about. You would know some understandings of, like the first how. I would say you would know how to get to, or at least theoretically, how to get to a lake, and that lake is really big.
Would this be considered a survival skill?
I guess, but
A survival roll, I mean?
I think what I'll say to, regardless if you even have rolled better, I'd say that the most you would know is that you would know how to get to some places where you might be able to find a boat and thus get to a different somewhere that should have an exit. Because you know that if you would head onto that lake going east, I mean that's to say you've been to the Underdark really much. If you have, it's been very brief. But or like, and that's a if. But like what you would know from what you've heard, what you've seen in minds, and understanding of what's down there, is that there should be a couple different means to get a boat, and if you go like to the east, maybe northeast, there should be some places that you can travel farther inland and get to some caves that go back up. Probably
As long as
along.
we have
Yeah.
as long as we have a boat, we'll be fine.
All right then.
Jevu, don't you have a Jevu, don't you have a
Yes.
boat?
We will be fine then.
Yeah, because you have the coin, which some of you might not know about because that's been used in a while.
So
Maybe one of you.
we trust Golir to find Nornalis. I really do not want to have to find him in the morning.
I don't worry, me and Scott will be going about the similar direction.
Oh,
Friend.
also Abaddon, I need more javelins and spears. Could I this evening when you look for a new axe, could I come along with you and
Oh, sure, the more the merrier.
yes.
I mean, I have nothing better to do. Might as well come with you guys.
Well, we could get you a proper weapon.
Snuggle have
So
Thumps his feet on one
Okay.
of its feet on the ground in response.
what do we do with Yugdrill? What's Yugdrill's state right now? What's Yugdrill looking like? Ian.
Yugdrill is still out of it. They seem to still be unconscious. They also don't seem to be moving any part of their body anymore.
All right. He's
Most
still,
likely, they look like they'll. Your best guess is they'll
slumped.
probably wake up in a couple hours, maybe later. It's hard to say.
Is he like slumped on the ground, not really upright?
Yeah, he's in whatever move. He's in whatever form you left him, basically. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to pick up Yugdrill and get him a room at the inn. And then head off with Abaddon and Snowcap, I guess.
Wait, why get? He was a tree.
You cannot. Well, true. I'm just gonna. If is there a? I don't know, like sunny.
Not
Patch
here,
or
maybe
garden.
slightly south of here, maybe, and that's your best bet. This place is not the most sunny area. I mean, sorry, this particular location within Furice is probably the sunniest place, but also it's like Furice is like a area that's surrounded by some mountains, big volcano. There's like obviously like ash has been pushed away, the field's over, but there's still a bunch of ash in the surrounding area. It's not the most, and like you might not necessarily be the most clearest day, but yeah, around here is fine. Maybe place of the south.
I'm still just gonna get him a room at the inn. I think that'd be probably a little just safer.
You could just store him in a closet, maybe, but he can't photosynthesize in there.
Yeah.
Well, actually, what at night he can do the night thing they do. So yeah.
No cap can nibble on his bark.
I can torch him.
Okay.
I'll get him a room at the inn, but I'm not gonna put him in the closet.
Okay.
Oh, you're not the type to shove him in a locker.
Okay. General question.
Yes.
You guys. So my understanding is right now. Actually, let me phrase it this way. Currently, right now, Golir has head out to look for Nornless,
Yes.
and then the idea is Jebavu, Abaddon, and Snowcap are kind of hanging around here, but are planning, and not too soonish, to kind of head around to some certain parts in the settlement to look for weapons. Is that correct?
Yep. And
I
general,
rolled
and I said
investigation.
Or you
Luke's
guys gonna
version.
try to find Nornless first?
No.
Okay.
We'll probably just try and find weapons at first.
We
And
can.
a week's worth of rations.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know how many
Oh.
people.
Oh wait, you already, where did you roll it? I actually don't know where you put it. Let's see.
it's in the yeah.
Oh, the chat. Okay, there we go. All right.
That's why I
Okay.
said I rolled a dirty 20.
So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna basically address some Golier stuff, and then I'm gonna decide if we're gonna end or not. Because I don't want to get too far ahead of the Normalist stuff, because I want to give them some time so we don't get forced into them, like, being here for super long. But it depends on circumstance. Either way, they would certainly be for a couple more hours from where they left up. Golier, you kind of search around. You look for you look at tracks and everything, and it becomes kind of clear to you that most likely Normalist never left the place you guys were in. Do you head there?
Yes. Or rather, yeah, I will head there.
Upon looking through there, you kind of make note of certain things, and you kind of get real close and analyze some stuff, and you're able to determine that certain doors were never opened. And so there's a high likelihood they didn't enter certain places, but you don't seem to find them. And you keep looking, and eventually, towards the very end, you see an open door, or a door that looks like it's been opened, and you see some markings from mild, ash prints and stuff in the air, just as in very mild indoor footprints, basically, because this is not the most clean place because of all the ash and other stuff. That leads you to believe that unless that either something happened and Norlis teleported, or Norlis left that structure and walked upon the bridge, which if they did that, would be a extremely severe taboo, so much so that you might be duty bound to fight them. If that is true, then they committed an insane taboo in this village, enough that by just you being that clan, it's like you would know how bad that is. Which seems unlikely because you don't know Nornless that well, but you don't know why he would do that. But if they did do that, it's all the indication seems to be they didn't. If they stayed in there and didn't open certain doors, and you don't see them right now, they either traveled somewhere else somehow via teleportation, maybe something got them or something, or maybe someone else carried them. Maybe, but you don't. There doesn't seem a good indication of that either.
I am aware enough that Norris is a wizard to be able to go keep out the teleported. I'm sure it's not that, right?
Yeah, that's probably what you would lead on. He just teleported somewhere else. Because it does look like the door might have been astray. It looks like it's possible one of the doors may have actually been opened, the big iron doors at the end. But he wasn't a wizard. He certainly wouldn't have he couldn't have opened himself. But then you kind of look and there's some prints that make it seem like a large elemental might have done it or something. Like there's a bit of like dirt and rock on the ground. Maybe he could have summoned that to open it. But like again, why would he do that? He could just teleport away. Which is a little upsetting. I'd say there's enough indication that it looks like someone could have opened the door, maybe, but you would think that he wouldn't go across the bridge. Hopefully,
What I'm hearing is I have plausible.
you plausible reason you have a lot of plausible reason to believe he did that, but you can hope in your soul he didn't because he's a wizard and can teleport probably.
Sorry, I meant like the legal term plausible deniability. Someone's like
Yeah,
technically
plausible
didn't.
deniability.
So she looks at it for a moment, gathers like a story in her head to concoct if anyone else is going to across the bridge, and just surmises to tell the party there's no comeback. She can just tell the party that we'll probably be back later.
Okay, I didn't hear most of that, but okay, bye.
Wait, no, pause.
Oh, I bet you said you talked to us later. Sorry, what?
Oh, I said she'll walk forward, look over it for now, kind of think of a potential story in her head, and then if she doesn't see Nornalis after about 30 minutes to an hour, she'll walk back to the party and just say that, and just surmise to say that he'll see them later.
Okay. I'd say that you guys find the party kind of along some of the marketplace. It's kind of selling stuff, and people have started to get back out to manage their things, and you can head out there and start to talk to them. And we can either RP that happening, or we can end right now.
I think we should end now.
Okay.
Yeah, do you want to wait for Yugdrill?
Well, that, and also I'd like to get to Norlis' side of things. Like, because the original plan was like a good chunk of a session was meant to be that, but which I'm kind of almost glad we didn't, because it meant we got a lot of stuff done here that I wasn't sure if we get done. I'm happy about it. It was a lot of nice RP. Okay. Well, in here, and what I'll say is the party's probably like around close to the marketplace area. Probably towards that direction. Not to say that like that would the place you might as well stop by in your way of looking for things. It makes sense. And yeah, there might be something I'm forgetting, but that's the main bit. And if you wanted to get Scar to go with you, you could have done that. Otherwise, you could just leave him there. And Zunir would probably still be at the infirmary. Okay. Who would like to do boom points first?
I'm giving mine to Jevabu for just doing some freaky shit with Yugdrill.
Can I concur on the freaky?
No.
Can I not get also a boom point for freaky?
The idea is you have to give it for a different reason than the same. Like, the idea is
Okay.
like if someone gives one, some people don't kind of let things go a little bit, but the general idea is to do it for a different reason if you're gonna give it to the same one person.
Can
Or
I
to describe it more
do a boom
specifically.
point for even after Golier definitely went off to tell the party that he was high, not backing down and continuing to try to speak to the thing and Yugdrill's back?
Okay, that works. So 2 to Jevabu.
Okay. Thank you.
Who's go
I'm
next?
gonna give my boom point to Golir for their reaction to all that with Jevabu. Yeah, it was very, very in character and very I just met you 2 hours ago.
Yeah, I was like out of character. I'm like, yeah, no, like the rest of the party would be able to tell that there's would never in a million years know that she met 3 hours ago is walking to like a weird thing and she's back.
Yeah, they have no context for that.
Alright, Abaddon, you wanna go?
I don't really have one this session.
Not even for me after I gave you the tiniest piece of meat.
What the heck? Give Snowcap a boon point. Justice for Snowcap.
Nah, bro. Should have given me a bigger piece. Sorry.
Hag flesh.
I think I'm going to actually give mine to Snowcap for that, and for some of the other kind of more for other some other things they said here there, including kind of answering some of Scar's questions. Even though I recognize some of the stuff he had, I guess there was a couple of moments where I kind of was a little uncertain because there was some like various things that were going to be mentioned that kind of just relied on you remembering things for a while ago. So I totally get that. But I think you worked along with that well, kind
Yeah.
of playing around it.
You know me and remembering. It doesn't go
Plus,
together.
plus there was something really helpful you said that was technically out of character but still meaningful. Like what happened like 20 minutes ago, but yeah. Then I'll give one to Titus for recording this despite not feeling well. And those are my 2 bullet points.